Alright guys, welcome to a new thing for our channel, the Euro 2020 Predictor. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to try and predict the correct score for every game of the Euros right through to the end. So the way we're scoring it is 5 points for a correct score, 2 points for a correct result, and obviously no points if you get the wrong result. And we're going to see who the winner is at the end. So diving straight into it. We've got the fixtures below us here, starting off with Friday's opener, which will be Turkey versus Italy. So, you wanna go first, or?
Yeah. I've gone for a 1-1 draw.
Interesting.
I think people might be fooled by the nation Italy, but I don't think they were as good as they were. Like anywhere near, and I think my dark horse for this Euro 2020 is Turkey. Got a very strong team, and I won't say they're in a particularly hard group. I think they'll definitely qualify. And when I mean dark horse, I don't mean like taking all like the big nations out of it. Like I won't like England and stuff like that. I don't, like you know what I mean, like the big nations. I mean like the dark horse with like the smaller nations.
Yeah, you think
the furthest.
I think they'll perform the best of the rest, basically. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, I think it'll be a 1-1 draw.
Okay, so I've gone for 2-0 Italy, and it's mainly just on the strength of like the youngsters Italy have got coming through. I do agree that Turkey could potentially be a best of the rest type of situation, but I just think Italy might have a little bit too much for them. Okay, so moving on to Saturday, so we open up with Wales versus Switzerland. I guess I'll go first this time. So I've gone for a 1-1 draw. I don't know, Wales seem to have drew a lot in qualifying, and I just think they lack that final killer touch type of thing. Switzerland, they always seem to do like all right at the big tournaments. So yeah, I could see the game going either way, and that's why in the end I fell on a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, I mean I remember the 2-1 Switzerland victory. I thought this was one of the tough games to predict as well. I mean, probably for the same reason. I mean, Switzerland, they do particularly do quite well when it comes to like the major tournaments. They did well in the, I don't think they did well in the last Nations League, but the time before that, they got through to the semi-finals. They eventually lost to Belgium and England.
Yeah, it's not.
I think England beat like the third place game and stuff like that. So I think they're good. And I don't think the last time, obviously, Wales qualified for the Euros was obviously the last Euros where they did quite well.
Yeah.
But I think that was. I think Bale's not as good as obviously he was 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think Wales do rely quite heavily on Gareth Bale. Although they do have a good few youngsters coming through as well. So, but I think the experience is why I lean towards Switzerland to win the game just.
Yeah, I think that's what like dragged me towards the draw, because initially I was thinking Wales would be stronger, but they do have some youngsters in the side, and obviously Switzerland have got that experience, so I think that's why I fell on the draw.
As I say, like I could be completely wrong, and Gareth Bale could just turn up and just be like, but I can only base it on like what I've seen from him at Spurs. I know he did well at the end, towards the end.
Yeah.
But you know what? Yeah, that's why I was going to Switzerland.
Definitely. Right, moving on to Denmark versus Finland then. How do you see that one going?
I said 2-0 Denmark. I think it'll be quite comfortable for him, to be honest. Again, probably the same reasons as Switzerland. I think they've got more experience than Finland in these big tournaments. and they've obviously got some decent players as well. And I can't really see any Finnish players kind of taking the tournament by storm and dragging the team through like a Gareth Bale could do for Wales or something like that. So I can see a comfortable Denmark.
I've gone for 2-1 Denmark, so I agree Denmark will win. I just think it might be a bit of a closer game. Like they might nick one. Like I could definitely see it going how you said. I could see it going 2-0, but I kind of gave Finland the benefit of the doubt and thought they'd at least get on the score sheet. But yeah, I see Denmark winning it no matter what, to be honest. Right, so the final game of Saturday sees Belgium versus Russia. I've gone for a 3-0 Belgium victory, and I've done that because I feel like they're probably one of the strongest teams at this tournament. They probably didn't perform as well as they wanted last time, but were still very dangerous and very good. So, and I think in recent years Russia have dropped off a little bit, so I've gone for 3-0.
Yeah, I think I went 3-1, didn't I?
You got for 3-1. Yeah.
3-1, yeah. I think obviously Belgium are a ranked number one team in the world, and they have got some outstanding players. To be fair, like got world class players throughout. Yeah. Probably the only issue with Belgium is going to like the later stages of the tournament and then perform. I think they'll glide through the group and stuff like that. But I'm not too sure if they'll have Kevin De Bruyne for the game. I know he's just had surgery on his face and stuff like that. So
he joined the squad today, I think, or he joins them tomorrow. I'm not sure.
So if he let's say he joined training today, he's going to have 2 days training. If he's at full training as well, they might just rest him for the first game.
It's strong possibility. Although that is probably the hardest game in that group, so maybe they risk him and then rest him for the other two.
Possibly. I mean, just gonna have a
quick check on the update.
Yeah. So I just tried to see if he's definitely ruled that well. I can't see it. So if they lose him, obviously it's a big player to lose. But as I say, you look through the whole team and they've got they should have more than enough to defeat Russia. I just think Belgium do tend to concede. That's why I'll give Russia the goal. Yeah. So I think Belgium will win comfortably, but I do think Russia may get a goal.
Fair enough. Okay, moving on to Sunday. Big day for us England fans. The first England game of the campaign. England taking on Croatia. So a bit of a replay as well in it of the heartache.
Yeah.
So I've gone for 1-0 to England. I think it'll be scrappy, but I think England will get the goal and win. I think they'll score like halfway through the second half and hold on, to be honest.
Yeah. I went 2-0 England. I'm just hoping it's Operation # It's Coming Home, obviously. But I do get worried with who Gareth Southgate will start.
Yeah. Like I want to see some of the youngsters in there, your Sanchos, your Bellinghams, your Fodens.
I mean, I would be happy. I don't know what formation. It depends what formation he's going to play and stuff like that. But as long as I see Mount, Foden, Grealish and Sancho start. Obviously, Kane will 100% start.
Yeah, Kane's going to start.
But if I see them 4 players start, I would be very happy. I want to see. I do want to see Jude Bellingham more.
Yeah.
In this, I've seen him a few times. Obviously when Dortmund played City as well. Yeah. He played really well over both legs as well. But apparently he's I don't watch too much Bundesliga, but apparently he's been doing that pretty much week in week out for Dortmund. He starts pretty much every game, doesn't he? So I think we're not blessed. I personally don't think we're blessed with like central midfielders. So it's I think he could possibly be like the breakout star of the tournament. of like the whole tournament. I mean,
Yeah, for me though,
not just for England.
I just think Southgate's going to stick with Henderson, and it pains me to see that because
I wouldn't be surprised if I looked at the team sheet on Sunday when it comes out, and it'll be Kane up front, Rashford on one side, and Sterling on the other side.
yeah,
And I'll be really disappointed.
yeah,
Really disappointed. So,
I will also.
but yeah, but I'll still go 2-0 England. I think Croatia are quite aging.
Yeah,
Now they've got quite an aging side of it. Modric is 35 now,
Mandzukic's got to be older.
something like 35, maybe 36, pushing 36. So yeah, I think they're an aging side. So I think England, with it being at Wembley as well, I think we should have enough to beat them. And that's probably, I'd say, that's probably our hardest game in our group as well. So
I would
a good start.
Okay, moving on to, I presume is the other game in our group. No, it's not the other game in our group. So the other game on the day, Austria versus North Macedonia. So how are you on with this one?
2-0 again to Austria. I can just see Macedonia just being the wicked boys, really.
Yeah, I don't hold much hope for them. I don't see many teams in the group that I see them beating anyway.
No, I say it's Austria, Netherlands, and Ukraine that they're going to play in. They're like three solid teams, so I don't see them doing much, which is why I've gone with. And Austria have got a couple of like really good players, so that's why I've gone for an easy 2-0 victory.
Yep, and I've also gone for a 2-0 victory, so we're agreed on that one. I agree with you. Austria have definitely got the better players, and I just don't see North Macedonia getting a win or a draw at any point of this tournament. So it's enough said about that one. So the final game of Sunday and the final game of this episode's predictor is the Netherlands versus Ukraine. I have gone for 2-0 to the Netherlands. I think that, again, Netherlands have got the better players. Like if you look at some of the players they've got at the moment, they're quite hot on the scene at the moment. You've got your Wijnaldums and Depay, people that are playing well, and obviously there's a lot of them in the news because a couple of them are moving about. I just think this is a tournament for a lot of them players to kind of silence the critics that because Memphis Depay has been criticised for wanting to leave the French league and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be a big tournament for a lot of them. I think a lot of them are going to show up.
Yeah, and I think I've gone with a 2-1 Netherlands victory. Again, I see them as a strong team. I feel as if Ukraine can be a bit dogged at times and defend quite well, but you'd like to think that they can have too much to, obviously to beat them. But they have. The thing with Netherlands these days is they do sometimes have the blip here and there. Like I've just got the recent result. Like Scotland drew with them the other day, 2-2. The last defeat was against Turkey.
Okay, fair enough.
It was 4-2. So, and then the other results you expect them to win. There's a lot of draws in there. There's another loss to Mexico. So they're a bit of a up and down team.
Yeah, a bit hot and cold.
Yes, but I'd say you'd expect them to. I think it's been a while since they've been at like a major tournament as well.
Yeah, because I remember they missed out, didn't they, on the last one.
So you'd expect them to be like really up for it and stuff like that. But you look through the two teams and you would expect them to obviously they're at home as well. They're playing in Netherlands as well. So
yeah. Okay. Right. Well, I'll throw our complete predictions on underneath us. So there they are for everyone to see. So now the plan, obviously, this will go up on Friday because the game don't kick off till 8 o'clock. So let's say, I don't know, midday Friday. This will go up, and then the next one will go up midday Monday, just before the Monday games, and obviously it'll have an updated table, and then we'll tackle the next 3 days worth of fixtures on there as well, and we'll keep going like that until someone wins.
Do you want to? Because we were doing the top goal score as well. Do you want to?
Yeah, we can do that.
Throw that in now.
Yeah. So
now who your prediction is?
Yeah. So top goal scorer, it won't appear on the screen, I suppose, because I didn't prepare for it. But I've gone with Mbappe as top goal scorer. If you get the top goal scorer right, you get an extra 10 points. So, who have you gone with?
Romelu Lukaku for my prediction for Belgium. I think he will start every single game for Belgium.
He almost has to, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he had a brilliant season for Inter. Obviously, they stopped the Juventus train pretty much.
Yeah.
And I was pretty sure he was. I don't know whether he got the top goal scorer, but he was pretty much there or thereabouts. He scored a lot of goals this season.
I think he might have been the top goal scorer. It's a good prediction. I think it depends heavily on obviously Belgium going deep into the tournament, but it's a good shout. I've gone with Mbappe. It's a bit of a risk because obviously the group they're in, obviously there's a danger they don't even get out of that group. But I just think if France can go deep into this tournament, it's going to be because he's scoring goals.
Yeah, and I think because they've got obviously the recall Benzema. I think that it just makes him even more dangerous as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we could see a lot of French goals this tournament. So
I think we might.
Yeah, but I think as well for Belgium, obviously Lukaku, obviously got the likes of Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, exactly. He's got great service. Yeah.
Whipping balls in for. He can whip, and you've seen him for City. He can whip unbelievable balls in, and especially if they're in the air. Lukaku's deadly in the air as well.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I just think they're going to create a lot of chances, and I've just got a feeling that he's going to score a hat.
Yeah, it's definitely a good shout. I'm excited for it all to start now, to be honest. I can't wait till tomorrow. Get it underway.
To start. There's going to be a game every day for 2 weeks. So.
Yeah, there's at least one game every day. I'm pretty sure, I think after today, after these games, it goes to a 2 and a 4. So it's 2 games, then 4 games, then 2 games or something like that. So it'd be interesting to see how it goes. But yeah, I guess that wraps up, block 1 of the predictions. Excited to see how it all goes. And then obviously, if you like what you're seeing, subscribe, hit the bell to find out when the new episode's coming out.
If anyone wants to throw in their predictions,
if you throw your predictions in the comments as well. Obviously, we won't be able to make a table out of everyone's predictions, but we'll see if they're right. And so thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.